Hello, and welcome to Food for Thought. It's Mark Lockridge here. I'm the pastor of New Life Fellowship in Letterkenny and Milford Reformed Presbyterian Church. It's great to have you with us. I came across the story of a Frenchman called Émile Callier. He was a French philosopher and also a soldier who fought in World War I. Amidst the trenches and the fighting that went on there, he realised that his own thoughts on life were inadequate. Where had life come from? Did it mean anything? What value are scientific laws or theories in the face of such a brutal reality as war? Callier wrote, "I felt that I was destined to perish miserably when my hour came." During the long night watches, Callier began to long for what he called a book that would understand me. He was highly educated, but he knew of no such book, so he decided he would prepare one. So he filed away passages that spoke to him, copying them into a leather-bound notebook, hoping that the assembled wisdom would one day free him from his fear and anguish. He survived World War I and kept on compiling, and at last the day came when he sat down to read his book, the book that would understand me. But instead of release and jubilation, a growing disappointment came over him. The various passages only reminded him of his own effort in collecting them, putting them together. It carried no strength of persuasion, and he was utterly dejected. He put the book away. His wife, who knew nothing of the project, came by with an interesting story. She'd been out walking in their village and had stumbled upon a small church. She'd gone in and, much to her own surprise, had asked for, of all things, a Bible. The pastor there had given her one. She began apologising to her husband, for she knew he wasn't interested in Christianity. But he wasn't listening to the apology. Instead he said, "A Bible, you say? Where is it? Show me." When she handed it over, he rushed to his study, sat down and began to read. And here's what he said. "I opened it and chanced upon the Beatitudes. I read and read and read, now aloud, with an indescribable warmth surging within. I could not find words to express my awe and wonder. Suddenly the realization dawned upon me. This was the book that would understand me. I needed it so much, yet unaware I had attempted to write my own in vain. I continued to read deeply into the night, mostly from the Gospels. And lo and behold, as I looked through them, the one of whom they spoke, the one who spoke and acted in them, became alive to me." He had set out to write his own book, but found the book was already written that would understand him. It puts me in mind of a much more recent thinker, a lady called Ayaan Hirsi Ali, a Somali-born activist and former politician. She went through a really deep period of crisis and fear and depression. She said she went to the best therapists that money could buy. One of them said to her, "Ayaan, I think you're spiritually bankrupt." And she started to talk to her about faith. Ayaan Hirsi Ali interrupted and explained to her why I didn't believe in God, she says, and more than that, why I actually hated God. Then the therapist suggested, "Well, why don't you design your own God, one that you could like?" And so that's what Hirsi Ali did. And then she says this, "As I was going on, I thought, yeah, that's actually a description of Jesus Christ and Christianity at its best." And so she said, instead of inventing another new God, I started diving into that story. Like Callier, she found that what she craved and even sought to invent actually already existed. Callier went on to say that the Bible is the only book that understands mankind, because its pages were animated by the presence of the living God and the power of his mighty acts. The Bible is God's unchanging word to an ever-changing world. It's the only place where we can find a true understanding of ourselves and the world that we live in. So if you want to find out a book that understands you, that'll help you know who you are, why you're here, where you can find hope, and more than that, a life that lasts beyond this life, then let me encourage you to reach for the Bible and to turn to its pages, for I believe that in there you will find it to be the book that understands you. You can find a good, clear, modern translation on websites like BibleGateway.com, a translation like the New International Version or the English Standard Version, perfectly easily read. Or if you would like a copy of the New Testament, that's the part of the Bible that focuses in on Jesus, please get in touch. Or if you're interested in finding out what the Bible is about, getting an overview of all of the 66 books that form the library that is the Bible, in our Milford Church we have a course starting, a video course called the Bible Course, that we'll be doing on Wednesday evenings from the 18th of September onwards at 8 o'clock, and you're more than welcome to come along. We'd love to see you there. But let me encourage you to lift the Bible, perhaps turning to some of the Gospels. Matthew, that's where Kelly started, or Mark, or Luke, or John, or even to the book of Psalms right in the middle, and to begin to read, and to see if you too will find that here is the book that understands me. Thanks for listening. If you want to get in touch, drop me an email, mark@newlifefellowship.ie. Have a great week.